Hey guys, Still Gaming here with yet another video. On today's video, we're going to be talking about Suicide Squads. On today's video, we're going to be checking out the loadout screens for each of the characters, or as much info as we can, break down what we've seen on this loadout screen. But before I get to that, if you'd like to share, like, and subscribe, we're trying to grow this channel to 5,000 this year subscribers, so I do appreciate you very much. Let's get to it. All right, first up was the loadout screen. You can see from the very top, you have the squad, then you have map, then you have contracts, then you have looks, you have the loadout, you have talents, you have social, you have battle pass, and you have the store. You also have the codex, and you have the options to finish it up. Now, we're going to take an overall look at the screen here. Now, this is a sub-menu within the thing that we're looking at the firearm, and as you can tell on the left side, this is the breakdown, right? So the gun is called the Eagle Bunsen Burner. It's a legendary LexCorp sniper rifle. You can see that these are the attachments. So we're in the sniper, it looks like, the sniper rifle. And there's a couple of different options that you have here. You can also see on the right side of the screen, you have the DPS, you have the seconds of the rounds that go, you have the damage per hit, critical hit damage, capacity, rate of fire, and then you have the little specials down below. You can see the first slot, 7% ammo reserve capacity. Then it goes down to 23% critical hit damage for this firearm. Then there's 50% damage for crazed enemies with this firearm. And then the total thing, it says at the bottom, which is like the bonus, is the successful crit reloads. Have a 100% chance of instantly burn the next enemy hit. Here's a close-up of the Eagle Bunsen Burner legendary LexCorp sniper rifle. You can see it's got attack, which is 2 arrows up, no protection for defense-wise, and no healing. Next up, we have Harley Quinn, and this is the overall view of your character loadout. So you see the 2 melees, or 2 fire, the melee, the grenade, the shield, and the traversal. Also at the bottom, you see the level, and then I think it's the gear score, and up above her, you see like the enlist. You can see that little thing that says enlist above her name at the bottom, which has check marks up above, and we'll go more into that in just a second. So here's the close-up of the what I think is the level, which is the 38, and the 19 might be the gear score, or vice versa. We don't really know just yet. And you can also see the little abilities above where it says enlisted. You see like the snowflake above the enlisted, and then you see the little swirl of green above the enlisted. And those are mods or perks that are on certain weapons that you can see when you add to it. We'll take a look at those in just a second as well. And then the enlisted thing itself, I think, obviously when they add more heroes, I think this is just activating them, saying that you're picking this character for your team. As you can see up above, there's only 4 characters in the game right now, and they all have the check marks. But if you notice, it says L2, R2. I wonder if that moves over to the next hero that comes into the game with their logo there. The number below the check marks, I'm assuming, is the how many weapons you have in your overall. I think there's 300 slots, which seems like a pretty big amount. But is that per character, or is that overall for your full team? We're getting a close-up here of her melee weapon called the Clutch Hitter, which is an epic bludgeon weapon. Damage is 2,881 to 3,185. You can see the level that she is 38. The shield harvest damage bonus is 551%. The combo strike damage is 100%. Suicide strike damage is 20,000, and suicide strike resource gain is 110. And if you look again, you have the +5 ammo gained from melee hits. So while you hit, you gain more ammo. 5 plus 5% grenade drop chance, so more grenades drop from the enemies there, and then plus 10% XP gain. Now, there's also a deep freeze on the bat itself. Now, I think the leveling of this, the green, the blue, the purple, is that you can level up your weapon. Like if you find this weapon, you want to upgrade it 3 times, that's what it would do. Again, now we can see the up close a little bit. You see the firearms 1 and 2. You see the shield mod on the right side. You see the traversal mod. And then we have 2 locked ones below that. We don't know what those are yet. You can see the melee on the left side, which is the thing that we just saw. And then you have the grenade below that. Now the two locked things that are missing, obviously I don't think you're a certain level. It could be, I mean, she's a level 38. Don't know what max level is. It might be 50. So this could be extra mod slots or extra traversal slots. It could be an extra bonus for special slots. Not really too sure what this is as of yet. So as more information comes out, we'll see. Now you can see the bat and the grenades both have the little perks on them with the snow and the poison, it looks like. Here's another screenshot of the clutch hitter, and then there's another weapon. You can see the hammer below, or the mallet, I should say, below the baseball bat. So there are different melee weapons to find. Again, this is the clutch hitter, and we've already seen the stats and whatnot to that, but you can see the mallet underneath. The mallet does poison damage, where the baseball bat does freezing damage. And here is the actual hammer, or the mallet itself. It's called the home run. It's a legendary bludgeon weapon. Let's take a little closer look at this. You can see here that the home run legendary bludgeon weapon does 3456 to 3820. Shield harvest damage bonus 551. Combo strike damage 90%. It's lower than the other baseball bat. Then you also have the suicide strike damage, which is 1600, which is lower, 16,000, which is lower, and then the suicide strike resource gain is 93%. You see a plus 11 melee damage on the grunt enemies. You see a 31% melee damage on shield harvestable enemies. You have 2% for shield regeneration on melee hits. And then down below you have 2 perks on this. It says every melee hit is a strong strike, and strong strikes sends brute enemies flying. Not tanks or choppers though, but totally everything else. And then it also has a Venom Frenzy status on there as well. Next up, we have King Shark, a wide shot of what his loadout screen looks like. You can see the weapon that he's using at different slots. He's got a different melee weapon completely. It's Epidemic Legendary Blade. You can see the actual stats and what it does here. It does the harvest chance 1%, 3% suicide strike resource. We'll get a little bit more closer up here. You can see that he has a neck bomb mod on his neck. Now, again, we didn't know what the last one is now. We see what the third slot is the second slot is a traversal mod. The third slot is a neck bomb mod, which is interesting because obviously as a Suicide Squad member, you all have the things around your neck that Amanda Waller could just blow up at any moment. So it'd be interesting to see what that actually does. Now, you can see on the melee weapon here, that he's got a cleaver and a hatchet, I guess you can say. Pretty cool looking weapons. Let's get a closer look at this. And you can see the harvest damage, 450. It's 20,856 suicide strike damage. King Shark is level 50, I believe. And you can see the shield harvest chance 1%, 3% suicide strike resource on melee, 22% melee damage on Batman infused enemies, which is interesting. Then you see the shield harvesting. An inflicted enemy has a 75% chance of spreading that affliction to all enemies within 10 meters. And then he's got Venom Frenzy. Then we have another weapon. This is the second weapon. This is the Charged Strike. We'll get a little close-up of this in just a second. Now you can see with the Charged Strike Legendary Blade, the attack is 3 arrows up. The damage is better. But the shield harvest, the combo strike, the suicide strike damage, the suicide strike resource gain is all lower on this one. Now, it does have a +4 shield harvest chance, +15 melee damage to brute enemies, 40% melee damage on crazed enemies, and on killing an enemy with suicide strike, your next melee attack damage is increased by 500%. So, maybe this is not a better thing overall, but with this little perk here, this is pretty solid, and I can see some really cool builds being built with this character. I think King Shark's going to be one of the better characters to play. Last but not least, we have Deadshot. This is a wide angle of what his overall look of his gun, his eye in the sky. We'll get a little closer look on this. The Eye in the Sky is an epic GCPD lockup sniper rifle, 3+ arrows up. DPS is 1655. Now, he is level 20, which is interesting, and we're going to go into a little bit more into that in a second. Damage per hit is 82 to 8,700. Critical hit damage is 100%. Capacity is 10, and rate of fire is 78. It's got a 9% ammo reserve capacity, 4% impact with firearm, and 33% damage of electric enemies with this firearm. Now, we talked about the level of each character on our podcast on Thursday night, and we weren't sure if they leveled up at the exact same or not. Some people are speculating that each character levels on their own, and then other people are thinking that you would level up one character, sort of like Gotham Knights, where you level up one hero like Batgirl and everybody else goes up the same level at the same time in your arsenal. I don't know how that's going to work. I think it's going to be individual level ups for each character, which could be good or bad, all depending. If you're a person that really likes this game, you're going to get tired of playing the same missions, same bosses, same things going in the game with Harley Quinn, then King Shark, then Deadshot, then Boomerang, and then they add another character down the road, and you have to do the exact same thing. So a lot of people are saying they would like to see it respect their time and put all the characters up as you're leveling up. I'm on the factor of I like leveling up each individual character, because if you really like the game, you're going to level it up regardless, and if you don't like the game, you're only going to level up one or maybe two characters of the ones that you're interested in. So again, we shall see how it turns out. I like what I'm seeing so far. Seeing the builds that you could make. We don't know any of the gear that's out there, what the combinations could be, or how powerful you can get. What I really liked about Marvel's Avengers, and a lot of people didn't really give it a shot for this, is that you could really make your character really powerful, but people didn't want to put in the time to get there because they were just hating on the game for the people that didn't play it. But if you played that game, you really felt like there was something that you were building, but there was just no end game. I think overall, I think the gear seems like it would be pretty interesting. Again, this is looking at 30,000 feet here. We haven't got our hands on it. We haven't seen a lot of stuff. But just seeing the gear and the loadout screen for these characters, I'm pretty excited to see that there's going to be quite a bit of stuff that you can mix and match. Now, obviously, you're going to be able to collect the guns. You're going to be able to collect the actual mods. You're going to be able to collect the attachment pieces and craft your weapons inside the game itself. So it seems like there's a lot of things to do that you can add to your character to make it a little bit more different than the other one. Everyone's looking at this right now saying, well, is just shooting guns and they're all jumping the same. It doesn't really feel like each of these four characters are different. They all just seem the same. I've seen it online, people talking about how they just look like Fortnite with, different skins. I don't think that Rocksteady has shown even a fraction of what the actual game is. The trailer that we saw, the State of Games yesterday, was just a small inkling into what this game is going to be in the next coming weeks and obviously months leading up to the game. I think they're going to show a lot more of this game and how different each of the heroes can be, because when you're adding more heroes down the line, they can't all be just shooting guns and jumping triple jumps in the air, moving really fast, right? They have to differentiate from each and every single one of themselves. These are just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments section down below. If you like these type of videos, please make sure you share, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching.